One mini world, one creation dream.
Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial here about the circuits, the Celestium Circuits again. Today we're going to learn different blocks that we didn't cover in the previous tutorials, so you can see a lot of new utilities blocks for your Celestium circuits. So let's start with it. Alright guys, so our next block, the one that is one of the most basic circuits, is the virtual spring. Okay, and how it works, what it can do, it ejects any block on the front after receiving Celestium energy. Okay, so remember, most of these blocks you will be able to place it in any direction. In this case, I'm going to place it upwards, and what you can do with this block is once it's activated, it's going to shoot down some blocks, as you see on the previous example. Or if you have a creature or any kind of player here, also that player is going to be ejected. So let me show you the example here. I'm going to put one on here. All right, and if I activate this, as you see, I get push it. Okay, let's do the same thing, but let's do it upwards. All right, and as you see, I'm going to be push it. All right, so now we have the second one. It's really similar to the previous one, but this one is the Flammo one. Okay, so what will be the difference in between the Flammo spring and the virtual spring? Okay, this one also do the same function exactly, but this is going to be a little bit more powerful. Okay, this one. So let's show you the example. Remember, in the previous example we pushed this block. Now if we activate it, you are going to see that the block goes much upper. And also if I activate this over myself, I'm going to fly or be ejected farther away. Okay, our next item is going to be the move spawner. Okay, on Miniware you're gonna know this block as mob generator block. What it's going to do is that it's going to generate some creatures, some mobs, after receiving some Celestium signals. Okay, and it's really important, this can be changed. You can set up some options for it. Okay, so let me show you really quick. As you see, it's generating a penguin right here. The important thing about this block is that if you click on it, you will be able to set up some functions. The first one is the amount or the kind of creature you're going to spawn. In this case, I'm going to spawn a penguin, but you can choose different creatures, different monsters, even some mobs. Okay, here some bosses. All right, just simply select your animal, and here you are going to select the amount of animals that are going to be generated every time it receives energy. Okay, so if I place 10 here, it's going to generate 10 of them. Next, we have the number detection. This can be turned on and off, and if you click here, it's going to tell you that it basically is going to work only if there is less than the amount of creatures that you are going to set up here. Okay, so just set up one here. If on the range that you are going to set up right here, there is already one creature, it's not going to generate more monsters. So you can set up a limit for the amount of monsters or mobs that are going to spawn in the area. Okay, next we have the generate range. How it's work is going to tell the game what is the radius where these mobs are going to be generated. So you can say that up to 32 blocks you can generate creatures, but also really important, as an example, if you place one, it's going to generate it over or next to the item, and also the altitude where the monsters can be generated. So as an example, if you cover this with blocks over it, you can set up the true health that you want to spawn these monsters also under this block. Okay, and also you can set up an generation interval, meaning that it's going to fill these monsters every 1, 2, or 4 seconds. Okay, so really important. Once more, remember, if you want to check the health in Miniware, just press M or click on the minimap, and you are going to see the health right here, the altitude. Okay, it's going to be 7. Next, we have the Celestium oscillator. So how it's going to work? What it's going to do is it's going to transmit Celestium energy to all the surrounding blocks around this specific block. Okay, also this is going to work to like a small loop. Okay, meaning that if you activate the energy, it is going to send energy over and over and over every X amount of ticks. Okay, let me show you the example. If I turn on this, as you see, it's going to turn on and off all the blocks around it. And if I just keep it off, it's going to stop doing that. Also, you can have different levels on here, as you see, and is going to reduce the speed of the loops. In this example, in the level 3, is not going to send any loop. In this example 0, is going to activate the loops really quick. 1 is going to do it a little bit slower, and in 2 is going to do it a little bit more slower too. The next block that we are covering during this tutorial is the rotator block, okay? So it's this block, this small block you can see here. What it's going to do is that after receiving Celestium signals, it's going to move any block that is connected to it, is going to rotate it. You can choose the actual direction and also the amount of times that it's going to turn on. I'm going to explain that later with an example. But really important, before doing or moving this block, you need to know that it's not going to move all the blocks. But let me show you the example. If I click on here, it's going to move any block connected to the top until I turn it off. Okay? Really important things for work with this block. Remember that the blocks that are going to move are not going to be natural blocks, meaning that any block like dirt, rocks, or is naturally generated is not going to be able to be moved. Okay? Instead, you need to use artificial blocks like wood, metal, or things that are not found in the nature. Okay? And you can cover up to 32 blocks. You can do a small platform. You can do a lot of things with this block. Okay? But also, another important rule is that if something is missing on the way, is like interrupting the way, is going to be damaged. Okay? And to fix it, you just need to remove something that is just interrupting the way. Another important thing, once more, if I use any natural block connected to it, as an example here, it's not going to work, okay? Remember, all the blocks connected to this need to be natural. Also, if you have something like this, as an example, it's not going to move the natural block, just the artificial blocks connected to it, okay? As an example, if I change those blocks for this one, it's going to keep moving, but of course it's going to be damaged here, okay? So, apart from that, apart from these small details, you also can choose the address, okay? So, if you click on it, without having any item on the hand, you can choose how much turns it's going to do, okay? So normally it's going to do a full turn, but you can choose just to do a quarter, meaning that if you activate it, it's just going to move that amount. You can choose half or a turn that you can see right here, or 3/4, or once more, the full turn. Also, if you use a wrench, you can choose the direction. So right now it's moving this way, but we can do it the other way, okay? So check this. All right. As you see now, it's turning to the other side. The next blocks in our system, the minus, the plus, and the move sliding block, okay? So how it works is that allows you to build some specific structures that will be able to move around, okay? That can slide or can change when you activate it. And how it's going to work, you have the sliding block. When it receives energy, it's going to move the minus block, sorry, the plus block to it, meaning that in this example, it's going to move this specific block to the side. And when it's turned it off, it's going to move the minus marker to its position, okay? So let me, and also like the rotator block, is going to move any artificial block connected to it with those specific blocks. So let me show you the example. If I activate this, you see that all this specific platform is going to be moved. And if I turn it off, as you see, it's going back to this position, okay? Important rules about this specific block. Once more, you cannot move any kind of natural block is not going to be moved, meaning that if I connect something like this, it's not going to move that specific amount of dirt. If something is blocking the way, also it's going to be damaged, like this one. Okay, and really important, you can place the rotator block and this block to any direction. Okay, so meaning that you can place it up one over other or to any of the 8 different directions. Okay, also really important, this is the way you can place this. Okay, so when you place the sliding block, you're going to see that all the different faces are equals except this one. Okay, the specific side needs to be connected to the minus block. Okay, as you see, otherwise it's not going to work. So be sure that you always are going to place the minus block on that position, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, let me show you. If I place the marker right now is down, or let me do it up here, or let's do it to my side, okay, to the other side, as you see, nothing is going to happen. So be sure that always the minus mark, the plus symbol is right here. Okay, and now it's going to work. All right, so next we have the sensor block. The difference between the other blocks and this one is that this one is going to provide energy to the energy light beamer, to the Celestium light beamer. Okay, and the way it works is really simple. Okay, this block can determine or detect when an object, in this case a player or a creature, is going to be working on the Celestium signals that is going to be spawned on the front. Okay, meaning that if you cross in the front, in the line, invisible line that has in the front, is going to activate the signals around it. Okay, so let me show you right now. As you see, there is no activation, but if I cross in the front, where is this specific face looking at, it is going to activate any block around it. Okay, with this you can change the distance, okay, of the block, meaning that you can have at max 32 blocks of detection, or at least 1 block of detection, meaning that if I cross this side, it's not going to work, but if I am next to it, it's going to be activated. A second option for this block is that you can choose if you want to detect only some specific blocks or some creature X, meaning that if you place a chicken on it, it can detect if a chicken is on the front. So let me show you the example. In this case, I'm placing a block here that is going to be this specific one. If I use or place any other block, it's not going to be detected, but if I place the block that is in the system, it is going to be activated. You can do the same with creatures, meaning that if you place a creature X here, is going to detect only when that creature is on the detection range. As this example, I'm using a different one, it's not working, but if I place the red chicken, that is the one that we place on this item, is going to be activated. The next block is the block sensor block. Also, you can call it a sensor block, simply one. The other one is the infrared, this is the normal one. And this one works with blocks around it, okay? Sorry, it's this one. Meaning that if you change any block on the 5 different faces, it's going to send signals to the next output. Okay, so in this example, as an example, if I remove this block, is going to activate the lamp. Also, if I place a block next to it, as most of the blocks, you can see that this block has 5 different phases and 1 output where the energy is going to come out. If you place any block on that specific side, it's not going to activate anything. Okay, also really important, if you click on it, you can choose which kind of block is going to be activated. So as an example, if I place any block on it and I place any different block, it's not going to work. But if I place or remove or add the same block next to it, it is going to be activated. Okay? The next one is going to be the Celestium bots. How it works, anytime that you change the item that is going to be displayed, is going to send Celestium signal output to the block that is down below it. Okay, so let me show you the example. If I take the item, it is going to activate the lamp. or if I place it, okay? But be aware that it's not going to activate the blocks next to it, just only the blocks under it, okay? As you see. Also, it's a good way to display items. Perfect. So now that we have finished all the different utility blocks, we are going to work also in utility blocks, but we are going to focus in the pipes, okay? So first one, we are going to learn what is a pipe, okay? A pipe is a set of items that allow you to move or transfer some items into different boxes and blocks inside your map, okay? So the first one we have is the collection pipe. The collection pipe is going to collect items from the large end and is going to transfer those into the small end. Okay, so in the screen you're seeing the big end and the small end, okay? So if I have any item in a box next to it, what it's going to do, check, I don't have items in any of the boxes, is going to transfer one by one the items from one box to the other, as you see here. Alright, remember, from the big end to the small end. Okay, alright. So let's continue with the next one. The next item that we are going to see, or the next block, is the transmission pipe, okay? It works exactly like the previous one, but it's going to move just from one side to the other and is not going to move items from the box, meaning that this needs to be connected to a collection pipe to be able to transfer the items from the inside, okay? But it will be able to let the items from the ends, okay? Also really important, this item has some small arrows, meaning that this is the direction, okay? You can see the arrows of where the items are going to be transmitted, okay? So let me show you another example. In this case, we are going to take the small here items, and as you see, the items are going to be moved, and also you can see the items moving around, okay? So as you see, really similar to the other one, but if you break the item for any reason, the process is going to stop, okay? So as an example, if you place the items back, it's going to work, but remember I told you this has a specific direction, right? So as an example, if I break this one and I place this one, you see the arrow is looking here and here, is not going to move the items because this one is moving the items to the side, okay? So really important, you always need to keep this moving to the same direction. The next one is also a pipe. Remember, we are covering pipes, and is the detection pipe, okay? Works really similar to the others. The difference is that it's going to turn on Celestium signals every time that an item is passed through it, okay? So if you check the example, every time that an item is going to be connected to it, this one is going to turn on the lamp, okay? As you see, the lamp is turning and turning on, and the items can be transferred right there, okay? Also, I forgot to mention, remember that any of the different blocks can have different directions that you can place the items. Another function of the detection pipe is that you can select which items can pass through, okay? So if you click on it, you can place items inside, and what is going to happen is that only is going to move the items coming from the pipe if those items are the same you place inside it, okay? So in the next example, we have a side. We want all the green leaves come this way and all the red leaves come this way, okay? So I place a red one on this detection pipe and a green one on this one, okay? And what we are going to do is that we are going to place our items here, okay? So as you see, all the green ones are going to move to the left side, and after we have fully charged this box with those items, is going to start moving the items to the other side, okay? Let's just give a second, and you see the red leaves are going to go to the other box, which allows you to order all the items that you are going to have here. So as an example, let's do the next thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up all the items that we have here. Okay, I'm going to arrange this box, and I'm going to divide this in small groups, as you see, and is going to move the different items to different positions until it fills or completes a cycle. Okay, you see here. Last but not least, we have the Celestium booster. Okay, so it's an item that is going to work with the pipes. The item is going to have 4 different sides to connect pipes. It is going to have a shooting phase and an input phase. Okay, and how it's going to work is really simple. Every time that you put energy on the input and you connect an item, in this case we have color X, to one of the sides or any of the sides, is going to shoot that item. As you see here, is shooting the items coming from the side. Okay, also this works with some sheets, meaning that you can use this to make your farm. Also works with creature eggs. Okay, so it's really important in any kind of projectile. And that will be it again for this tutorial. Thank you so much for checking the tutorial, and remember, if you have any questions, you can ask me on the comment section, or you can look for the Discord channel for MiniWord. Remember, I'm the teacher Yeyo, and I will answer all your questions, guys. So thank you so much for everything, and have an excellent day. Bye bye.